Hi, my name is Marvin Boden, and I'm the executive chef at Into It and At Your Table. Today I would like to make for you a lemon meringue tart, so let's get to it. Okay, first we're going to get together the pastry because we have to do that first. So the recipe calls for 2.5 cups of flour. We're going to put all the ingredients inside the mixing bowl first. And this is going to be enough pastry for a 11.5 tart pan. Okay, next the recipe calls for a pinch of salt. And then we need 1 cup of powdered sugar. Perfect. Pour that inside too. Okay, and the recipe calls for 8 ounces of cold butter. So I'm going to pull the cold butter out of the refrigerator. And it calls to cut it into cubes. Cut the butter in half, and then I'll make it into smaller cubes. I'm going to use the paddle attachment when I start mixing the dough. Basically, I'll mix the dough until the butter is about the size of little peas. And I'll keep checking it throughout the process. And then at the very end, I'm going to add an egg yolk to it. For it to come all together, and then I'm going to chill down the dough in the refrigerator about an hour, and then I'll roll it out and put it in a tart shape. So basically we're almost down to pea size, so I'm just going to keep it mixing. I'm going to add the yolk. And I'll add about 1/8 of a cup of iced water. Dough came together, now I can stop it, and now I'm going to roll the pastry out. Now we're going to do the 11-inch, we're going to put the dough in the pie pan, 11-inch tart pan, should I say. Okay. Our dough just came out of the refrigerator. It's been chilling for about an hour. Okay. Take a little flour. We're going to put it on the bottom just spread it out a little bit. We're just putting a little flour in there so it doesn't stick. A little on top. A little bit more flour on the bottom of the board so it doesn't stick. Trying for around 1/4 inch thick, and then we want it to fit the pie pan. Okay. Move the dough out. Check it to make sure it ain't sticky. Slowly roll it out, like so. Pull up the edges and we'll push down slightly to get it down inside. And we'll just keep forming it in. I'm just pushing down with my fingers to get it right in that corner. Lifting up on the pie dough to make sure it gets all the way down there inside. So we have a nice, perfect bottom. That feels pretty good, okay? Then I'll just take my hands and I'll slide them sideways to pinch off the top. And as I'm doing that, I'm pushing the dough into the flute. Making it nice and smooth on the top. Okay, see here how it broke and how I'm missing a space here? So you can just take a piece here, just push it back in, make sure it's, and then just pull it straight off just like so. Just want to make sure that all the dough is even, because when we bake, we want it to all be the same. That way it bakes at the same time. Okay. I'm just going to go back through, form it a little bit. Make sure it's nice and even. Okay. Now we're going to get a fork. I'm going to poke some holes in it. We're going to lay some foil over the top. And then we're going to blind bake it. Blind bake it is basically some kind of parchment or foil in there, some kind of beans or rice to keep the dough from rising, able to help it stay down. Poking it with the holes is just to keep some air out of there so the dough doesn't rise. And then basically blind dough is a process when a dough is cooked without any filling in it. And I try to keep my foil and rice so I can use it each time. Spread the foil out. Get it all the way in the corners. Get all the rice into there. I don't know, I probably used this, 15, 16 times. Okay, stick this in the oven now. I'm going to cook it for 20 minutes. And the last 5 minutes, I'm going to pull all the rice off and let the bottom brown. I just pulled it out. I'm going to pull foil out with the rice, making sure that I don't spill any in there. Okay, I'll put it back in and I want to brown this whole area here. And I'm probably going to run it maybe 5 minutes, it looks like so far. So the tart just came out of the oven, fully browned. It ended up taking at least 12 more minutes to get it to this stage right here. So now I'll let it cool, and then as soon as it cools, I'm going to put the filling inside, and then I'll top it with the meringue, and then we'll torch the meringue, and we'll be enjoying it. Now we're going to make the lemon filling, which is basically a lemon curd. Okay, calls for 1.5 cups of sugar. Basically, we're going to make the lemon curd. We're going to get nice and thick, and then we're going to add it to our shell after we chill it. And then we'll let the whole thing sit inside of the refrigerator. Okay? Calls for 5 whole eggs. And then it calls for 8 yolks. So I'm going to separate the yolks. Basically, we're just going to take this. I'm going to cook it over a low flame until it gets nice and thick and it coats the back of a spoon. And then basically we're done, and then we'll take that liquid and we'll put it in a bowl over an ice bath and we'll chill it down. And that'll be basically our lemon curd. For some reason you get a shell in here or anything, we are going to strain this lemon curd off. So then I'll take the rest of this batter, and I mean the egg whites, and I'll make our meringue out of that. Okay, so we'll put that there. Put some fresh gloves on. Then we're going to put the juice and the zest of 5 lemons in there. We've got 8 ounces of butter actually going in there too, and we're only going to put half in the beginning. Then we'll cube the rest up, and as the base is chilling down, we'll whisk the rest of it in too. Okay, so I'm going to take my microplaner, and I'm just going to run it right over the zest. I don't want any of the white pith because that's bitter. So I'm just trying to get all the nice yellow on the top. And then I'm going to chop this zest up just to make sure it's nice and fine. And this whole recipe was based because I had a lot of lemons on my tree. So I don't want them to go bad, so I decided to do this lemon tart. Okay, take that, add that in. Okay, I'll roll my lemons a little bit just to get them a little softer. Cut them in half. And I'm going to juice them all 5 halves. I had some seeds fall in there, so let's pull them out real quick. Okay, that's out. If they do fall in, it's not that big of a deal because we're going to strain it anyway. Turn our heat on low to medium. Whisk it up a little bit. Get everything mixed, all the sugar. Then I'll cut half the butter into cubes and I'll add it in. And then basically just keep whisking it until it starts to come together. So now I've been stirring it for between 5 to 8 minutes, stirring it constantly the whole time. And now it's starting to get thick. Let's check to see if it coats the back of a spoon. See how it isn't moving? Good. We'll turn the flame off. We're going to strain it. And all that beautiful lemon filling in there. Okay, we're going to try to get the filling all down through, strain everything out. Just keep pushing down, pushing it through. Looks good. You can notice I actually had a seed in there. So that was good that we actually strained it so I don't have any seeds inside because nobody wants to get a seed while they're eating this. Now I'm going to get some ice. Now I'm going to make a water bath. And I'll take it out of the water bath. I'll wait for the crust to chill and get cool. And then I'll layer it on there, okay? So I'll set it right in the ice bath. I'm going to take the rest of my butter, the other 4 ounces of my butter, and I'm going to whisk that in now while it's chilling in the ice bath. It shouldn't take very long to have the butter melt inside. The butter's going to cause it to even get thicker. And then once in a while I'll come along and I'll whisk it a little more just to move everything around to get to chill faster, so I can actually get it out of the water bath, get it in the refrigerator. And say basically all the butter has been melted, okay? Okay, so the crust is chilled enough. Now I'm gonna take my lemon curd, I'm gonna fill it all up, and I'm gonna chill a little while longer. And then I'll make the meringue and I'll top it. And then we'll torch it. I have egg whites in there, cream of tartar. I got some sugar right here, and I'm gonna add some vanilla. Basically, I'm gonna start whipping this until it hits medium heat. Then I'll start adding the sugar slowly. And at the very end, I'll add my vanilla extract. Probably hitting about soft peak right now. sugar slowly. I'm going to add the vanilla extract, half a teaspoon. Continue to mix. So the meringue is at stiff peak now. Taste a little bit, and you can't taste any of the granulated sugars melted totally in there. So now it's time to put it in this pastry bag, and I'll start piping it on our torte. Pipe the topping on, and I burnt the top with a torch. And this is the finished product.